Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to look at the Kruskal-Wallis Test, which is a non-parametric test, and it's an alternative to using the one-way ANOVA that we're used to using with normally distributed data. We're going to do this example in SPSS. So let's get started. Here we have the problem statement that workers in 3 different but comparable companies were asked to rate the use of quality control techniques in their firms on a 50-point scale. A score of 50 represents nearly perfect implementation of quality control, and 0 represents no implementation. So the workers were divided into 3 independent groups. One group worked in a company that had required all of its workers to attend a 3-day seminar on quality control. So that's the S. A second group had the workers partake in a quality circle group meeting, and that is the Qs, the group of Qs. And then we had a third group of workers where the management was actively involved in the quality control process. And those groups are denoted with the Ms. So you can see the ratings by the different groups. And then I've also have a column here where group 1 represents the first group with the 3-day seminar. Group 2 was where they attended the quality circle group, and group 3 is identified for those folks who were actively, the management was actively involved in the process. We're going to use the Kruskal-Wallis Test in SPSS to perform this analysis, with our null hypothesis being that the 3 populations are identical because there's 3 different groups, and the alternative being at least one of those 3 populations is different. With the Kruskal-Wallis test in general, your null hypothesis is that the number of populations that you have are identical, and the alternative saying at least one of the number of populations that you have is different. So let's take a look at this data set in SPSS and answer the question. So I have my data in SPSS, the different ratings, the different techniques that we use with the different groups, and their associated group ID. I'm going to click Analyze, Non-Parametric Test, Legacy Dialogues. And now I'm going to click on K Independent Samples. You'll see that my test type is the Kruskal-Wallis test. And let me pull these over just for demonstration purposes. My ratings is going to be what I am looking to analyze. That's my variable that I'm going to test. And my group ID is going to be my grouping variable. Now it's going to give me these questions like this. So I'm going to click on Define Range, and the minimum is 1 and my maximum is 3 because I have a total of 3 different groups. Now options, I just want to make sure that I click on descriptive statistics. Once again, the reason I click on this is because I think it's valuable to have those descriptive statistics measurements. And here I am going to make sure that this is checked, and I click OK. And that's all you have to do here. You have your descriptive statistics. You have your ranks that also provides some output information on the ranking using the Kruskal-Wallis test. And we have our test statistic or test metric that we're using, the Kruskal-Wallis of 7.937 with the p-value down here. And that's the information that we're going to use to determine whether or not to reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis. And there you have it. I hope this was helpful to you. See you next time.